Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku prayer, please stand. Taka amara ni kamzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite. Sumeni oya kamuri zanagi no mikoto atsukushi no imu kano tachi hanano. Odono awagi harani misogi harai tamo toki ni narimaseru harai no kami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi kegare o harai tamai Yome tamae tomao tsukoto no yoshi o amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no fuchi koma no mimi furitatete hikoshin mese to kashikomi maosu Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Kannagara tamachi haemase. Kannagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. The already divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we lead your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
May God Meishu-sama bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Righteousness. I have come to the realization that those who trust God and live each day leaning upon the staff of love have nothing to fear in this world. Only those who live life virtuously and have clear consciences are not afraid of what others think or say, for they know they are loved by God. Even if the path is narrow and obstructed by dark forces, we will proceed humbly and obediently according to God's will. I feel the surest way to judge the character of an individual is by learning how much or how little sense of righteousness he or she has. A sense of righteousness is, as it were, the backbone of a human being. A person with little sense of righteousness is like a jellyfish without a backbone. Such a person is undependable, so we cannot feel safe. In dealing with any problem, we should first ask ourselves whether a particular solution is right or wrong. If you have determined that it is not right, you should unflinchingly resist it with all your moral strength. If you live with this principle, even though you may temporarily experience difficulty, in the long run, everything will work out for the best. In whatever situation you may find yourself, it is best and most pleasant to keep on the right path at all times, doing things openly and honestly without fear. People with that kind of character can be the pillars of the world and the guardians of righteousness. It is through the strength of such individuals that a wholesome society can be developed. For God always stands by those who are righteous and just.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service at the Miroku Association headquarters. Today I'd like to share two faith experiences. First one is from Lourdes Torres from Peru. Lourdes Torres shared his story with great joy and respect for this opportunity. The month of April 2018, she signed up for an advanced course for Johrei members. And after a few weeks of the course, she got the flu. She just imagined that it was like all the others, and it would pass with the days. So she decided not to interrupt it with drugs and left it to take its natural process. However, as the days passed, the flu became more severe, stronger, and more annoying. She was approaching a month with the flu and was wondering what she was studying about purification, elimination of spiritual clouds and toxins, or starting a treatment with antibiotics. At that time, she sought the guidance of her minister, who, very directly, explained the flu as a purification, a cleansing process. The minister questioned her about past times having flu and how she had dealt with it. She realized that she had no patience with the process of eliminating toxins. She always sought help from medications, and she could not be grateful that her body was in purification. The minister took her to the outer room, gave her a long Johrei, and just like magic, her body heated up, the pain went down. As a result, she made the decision to not interrupt the purification process with medications and express her gratitude for what she was learning in the advanced course for members and the things she was putting into practice. She began giving more service than before, more Johrei positive thoughts to keep her mind in a paradise-like mode, or at least without complaining about her struggles. In a few days after the minister's guidance and the decision to confront this purification through our practice of faith, the symptoms passed almost 100%. She no longer felt discomfort, and the most impressive thing is that there was an episode of eliminating 2 clots of blood and pus from the throat, just as Meishu-sama teaches us. In other words, purifying is cleansing the spiritual clouds and toxins to become a healthy human being. Lourdes could really make a reflection that this was the third time she had had the opportunity to share a faith experience, because in the 20 years as a Johrei member, together with her family, they had already gone through conflicts, emotional troubles, economic downturns, even distancing herself from this path, fears and insecurities about her faith, but somehow always returning to the Johrei dedications, like cleaning, visiting members in outlying areas, religious assistance, and offering of gratitude. And through that, we gain strength to move forward and overcome difficulties. This is the true work of salvation. This time, she feels she gained a different strength, confidence, and faith, because to sum up her blessings, her 2 daughters also participate in the advanced courses. On some occasions, they talked about what they have learned through the teachings of Meishu-sama, realizing that they must be more aware about our Johrei movement and to be able to serve more for first-time visitors, following up to guide them to happiness. In closing, Lourdes wants to sincerely express her gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for her purification and for entering a state of higher consciousness with the advanced course. She is thankful for her study group and the wonderful experiences they had shared, and to all the members who made her faith experience possible. So that's Lourdes Torres from Peru. And the other experience I would like to share with you this morning is from Marília Escalon. She's from Mogi Mirim in Brazil. Maria Escalon has been a member for 15 years. She gives service as a family assistant and as a youth leader for her Johrei Center. In early 2020, she and her husband separated, and she went to live with her 72-year-old maternal grandmother. Her grandmother's property was not in good condition, to the point that the grandmother herself hardly stayed in the house. Her grandmother didn't like being there and complained a lot about the place. However, it was the only place Marília had to immediately stay. So she made the decision to transform that environment, although she didn't know how. She decided to start with her own feelings, exercising gratitude. With the onset of the pandemic, her grandmother had to spend some time at an uncle's house, which is farther away from Mogi Mirim. Marília was very sad because she would be alone in a house where she didn't feel well. In this way, she decided to intensify our practices of faith. She watched the daily online services, increased reading of Meishu-sama's teachings. She performed Mitama Migaki, which is the dedication to cleaning as a polishing of the soul, and placed flower arrangements in every room of the house. She made a very beautiful arrangement and offered it to a neighbor, wishing that the light of God would envelop the neighbor's home and family. In the yard, the bushes were very high. There was dirt and debris, which caused the appearance of insects and other animals. For that reason, she hired a gardener to do the cleaning. After that, the desire to prepare a vegetable garden came to her. She asked the Johrei Center home gardening coordinator for guidance, as the gardener said that the land was contaminated due to the amount of pests. This coordinator commented that the land was not contaminated, but just out of balance. This particular phrase made her reflect and thank those insects because they were showing that something was out of harmony and needed to be purified. After a few days, there were no longer any insects. She was very happy and committed to taking care of that home, always with all love and gratitude. After 4 months, her grandmother returned to her house. Seeing the transformation that had taken place, she was thrilled and grateful. A few years ago, Marilia signed up for a government housing program, but she had never been contemplated. However, at the end of 2020, she received a great blessing. Her name was finally drawn. Her property is under construction and the delivery is scheduled for January 2022. Through this experience, she understood that regardless of material conditions, everyone can realize paradise at home. Just be grateful to God and exercise selfless love. Marilia is very thankful to God and Meishu-sama for the permission to experience this learning. Her commitment is to continue the basic practices of our faith, always seeking her growth and evolution, and being ever more useful to this great work of salvation. Very nice experience from Marilia Scalon. Thank you very much for listening to these words. I wish you a very wonderful Saturday and weekend. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.